Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Phoenix Contact Live or live stream. My name's Wade Anderson, and I'm with the distribution group with Phoenix Contact. If you'd missed our WebEx last month, we went over a couple things about going away from WebExes and going to this live stream format. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to go away from the WebEx completely, and this is what we're going to be doing going forward. So a couple of things before we get started today. We're going to go about 30 minutes, maybe 30 to 40 minutes today. Make sure you do have a pen and paper ready if you have to take any notes. And if you have any questions, you can type them in the lower right-hand corner of YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube account, you can just email them to me. My email address should be on the screen now. So we'll try to get to all the questions. If we can't get to all of them, I will answer those as the show ends. So with that, let me go ahead and hand this over to our host today, Jeremy Valentine.
All right, thanks a lot, Wade. Really appreciate it. And thanks to all of you for tuning in. As Wade expressed earlier, this is our first endeavor into this live stream format to help better communicate to all of you. And obviously, we're very excited about the adoption of this format. But moreover, I'm actually very excited to talk this technology because we've got a new product launch. And in fact, it's not necessarily just a product launch. It's kind of a family launch, if you will. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of it, let's first introduce the man standing here. So Zach Stank, so welcome, man.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Thanks for having me. Safety first, as always. That's why I'm on the first one. So I'm glad to be here launching the new PSR Switch with you.
Yeah, so you are our resident safety expert. So how long have you been with Phoenix and in this role and tied to safety?
I've been here for 8 years. So 8 years just in July, and I've been doing safety all 8 of those years. So
all right.
I added light last year, so a little bit brighter shine to me now, but
I thought it was all the mane and tail you were using.
Oh, you know.
Nice. So in all reality, don't underestimate yourself. So for all of you that have been on our campus, if you've ever had the opportunity to walk through the 4th floor, I walk by your desk all the time. You've got all the certificates, TUV, and all the still stuff. Don't downplay.
Yeah.
You are our guy. So
yeah, I am the safety expert for all of the United States. So
all right, awesome
gladly
stuff.
answer any questions that you have if you want to send them to my email, or you can give me a call, or even our technical service as well can answer questions.
Awesome. So let's get into this product that we are launching today, or you're launching for that matter. So the PSR Switch. Tell me a little bit about it, high level.
So high level, the PSR Switch, which I'm holding in my hands here, is a non-contact. This is it, yeah.
Wow,
here,
okay.
You can even hold it yourself if you don't believe me. Yeah, so it's a non-contact RFID door sensor. So you put it on a door, it'll sense the presence of the door being there, or if it's not there, and it'll stop hazardous motion outside of it.
All right, so let me just stop you there. So I'm going to ask lots of questions. So
No worries.
All right, so first of all, I've seen door switches before, and they're kind of big, clunky, and they've got tongue and groove and stuff like that. You said non-contact, RFID, and a bunch of stuff. What's all that really mean?
Yeah, so a typical switch you would see, like you said, is tongue and groove. So it's mechanically interlocked where you would have 2 pieces coming into each other, and that's how you would know it was connected. It would be mechanically interlocked. You would get the connections through it. It's low cost, but it's also very low technology. You can really do one, and you have to take it right back to a safety relay to get monitoring on that one. You can't do them in series. This offers, and I'll take that back from you.
Oh,
so it offers, yeah, sorry. It offers an RFID chip inside of the actuator piece, and then a sensor that will make sure that that chip is there and it senses it. So the other thing is, because it is non-contact, there's no wearable parts, but it also means that you can get it in different mounting positions as you need it. It's not just straight on or up and down. It's all one part number. You can mount it any way you want.
Okay, so when you talk about mounting in different manners and methodologies and stuff like that, where would you see stuff like that? Why would somebody maybe do, is it on a door or something like that where you're more apt to go in these different orientations?
Absolutely, that's right. So on a door, you would have the non-connected part, the actuator, and we can go over to the screen here, get a better look at it. So you have the actuator piece here. So the actuator would go on the door, the movable piece that gets mounted onto that. And then you have the piece with the connection on it, which is the sensor. That is the piece that you would connect into an M12 cable like this. And typically this is your movable part because there is nothing connected to it. You don't have to worry about any pinching points or anything like that. So this is your movable piece. This is the piece that stays still and senses that RFID connection.
Okay, fantastic. And now, with the particular sensors and actuators, are there different configurations? Are there different sensors that we need to be aware of?
Yeah, there's 3 different types actually, and I left the clicker over there if you hand it to me.
Well, let me grab your clicker for
Thank you very much. So there's 3 different types of the sensor. There's the Unicode, the multi-code, and the fixed code. And then there's only one actuator type, and it covers all 3 different sensor types.
Okay, so let's start with the simple thing. So actuator, there's only one, always.
There's always only one actuator. No matter what part you're using from Phoenix Contact for the RFID switch, it's always going to have that same actuator part number.
Okay, so cool. One actuator. Then we get into these different sensors. So first, Unicode. What's that?
Yeah, so Unicode means that it'll take in the RFID switch. So there is a learning process that happens. It's a very deliberate learn. It takes about 30 seconds. The sensor will learn in the actuator RFID chip code, right? And then they are paired. So the Unicode will remember that, and if you try to bypass it with anything besides the one that's learned in, it will not work. So you can't bypass safety in that situation. The nice thing about the Unicode, though, is if you were to happen to lose the actuator, or it got destroyed or lost or something like that, you can bring in another one, re-engage the learning, and then it'll learn in a new one. So the Unicode allows you to relearn in new devices.
Okay, and let's pause there because I want to make sure everybody understands. When we talk about this learning process, you mentioned it's deliberate. So it's 30 seconds, you said?
Yeah, so anytime you switch off a sensor, it'll go when on power up, it does a 5-second self-test, and then it'll go right back into learning mode if nothing is there. So if the door is open or it's hanging open, you power down, power back up, it'll go right back into the learning process. If that learning process sees one that is already in there and it's a valid, it'll switch off the learning process, go right back into function. If you bring in a new one, it takes 30 seconds to learn that. And the reason that's done is so that there's no accidental learning where somebody walks by with a switch in their pocket or something like that, and they brush by one and it accidentally learns in a new chip.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to make sure everybody understood. When we talk about that deliberate learning, it's you're not going to someone's not going to walk up, and so it's almost safety for the sake of the safety function.
Exactly, yes.
All right, good stuff. So shifting from Unicode, you've got multi-code. How's that different from the Uni?
So again, it's very similar. The only difference is there's no learning on the multi-code. So it doesn't matter what multi-code sensor you're using, any actuator from Phoenix Contact will work with it. So you could have multiple switches and multiple actuators out there in the field, all of them working together for different positions. If you have a robot where there's a safe position with the robot, maybe you have 2 different zones it can be in. It'll tell you where the robot is, and you'll have safe zones from that.
Okay, fantastic. And then finally, we've got fixed code. Is that one you view being popular? Or?
I don't really see fixed code being popular here in the United States. The reason for that is you get the same level of coding from the Unicode. The only difference is you can't relearn in an actuator on a fixed code. So once I learn in, they're paired for life, like geese. And I don't know if you know that. Geese pair for life.
I learn something every time I'm with you, Mr. Singh.
So fixed code means that once you do it, it's fixed. There's no changing it. So that if you were to lose the actuator, you'd have to get a whole new switch for it to work.
Okay, good stuff. So single actuator, multiple sensors, and you mentioned that multiple sensors and all these can be configured together and run in series. So with that, first of all, I guess you've got it here. How many switches can be connected together?
So it's a total of 30 switches max, all in series. And the reason that this is important is you could have done it on a tongue and groove, low technology type of switch, but you would not reach the highest levels of safety. New standards came out internationally that basically said that's not safe. You don't know which door is open. You don't have any technology downstream from the switch letting you know what's going on. This will allow you to get the highest levels of safety, SIL 3, performance level E, with up to 30 of them max in series.
Okay, so the one thing that jumps out to me on this slide that the viewers are looking at right now is you've got all these sensors going into a single safety relay.
That's correct, yep.
Now, if I compare that to the tongue and groove that you just talked about, the lower cost, but probably more prevalent right now, help me understand, each of these safety switches, or the other version, the tongue and groove, would go back to a single safety relay at itself? Or?
That's correct. So if, for example, on the screen here we have 3. If I wanted to get the highest levels of safety for an old style tongue and groove connector, I'd have to have 3 safety relays. Each of those individually wired out into the field to your sensor.
Tongue and groove, safety switch, safety relay.
Yep. Each time doing it, and then you'd have to wire the sensor or the relays in series with each other. Or you'd have to upgrade to a full-blown safety PLC and use some type of input card that does 20 or 30 inputs or something like that.
Wow. So just that in itself seems to me to be a huge advantage. Anybody doing multiple drops, maybe on a conveyor system with multiple
Absolutely.
e-stops, wire them all together in a series with, this looks like some kind of Y connector up top?
Yeah, so we have Y connectors and accessories available for this. It's all from Phoenix Contact, as well as the North American cable cord sets that we are offering with these. So
Okay.
it's all one full Phoenix solution, from sensor to the wiring, all the accessories through the cabinet, and then into your cabinet and into the safety device. A whole Phoenix Contact solution.
So really end to end, that's fantastic. So walk me through this relay a little bit more. So in this particular one, is there anything special about the safety relay that we're launching with this particular portfolio?
Yeah, so the system itself is actually very open.
Okay.
It does not require a specific relay to function properly. It is a simple OSSD, redundant OSSD outputs on the switches themselves. So you just need 2 of those outputs coming from the wire, and that can go into any relay that you want. We have a number of those that we offer. That also means you could use a competitive relay. It's good for retrofit. You have something out there using the old tongue and groove. I want to use something new. I can do that with these using an older style relay. But like you said, we are launching a new relay with this, the PSR MC42. And what that lets you do is there's a diagnostic channel that exists on the wiring here, and the MC42 will take that diagnostic channel and turn it into an IO link signal. So you can then take diagnostic of all 30 of those switches back into your controller, get feedback on which door is out of position, which one is there, do I need a reset. I can even open the safety contacts from the actual controller itself. So it gives me a lot more higher functionality, that IIoT, Industry 4.0 digitalization everybody's looking
Yeah,
for.
so let's just pause there for a second because I'm not totally familiar with it. You mentioned really this MC42, this special safety relay, if you will. It's IO Link enabled. So for those that may be unfamiliar with IO Link, can you just give the 50,000 foot view? What exactly is it?
Yeah, so IO Link is really an industrial protocol. It's a way to communicate.
Okay.
It's a way for devices to communicate to each other, but unlike most industrial protocols, it doesn't require an RJ45 connection, or it's essentially a binary signal, digital output that is then Morse coded back to a master. So it's a low-cost way of getting information across a single wire.
Okay, that's awesome.
Or standard serial wiring cable, so it would be 3 wires.
Okay. So this particular relay is IO Link enabled. So for those looking to monitor maybe some specific aspects of their safety system and how to engage and getting that feedback back to the control system, that's fantastic. But at this point, you know, there is varied adoption when it comes to Internet of Things and digitalization and stuff like that. So there's a lot of individuals out there that just want to turn stuff on and off, make sure it's safe. Walk us through the existing Phoenix portfolio, because you know, the portfolio continues to grow. We've got a ton of safety relays. What's it look like right now?
Yeah, so up on the screen and what you're viewing at on the webcast here is everything that is available that will work with this switch is on this list.
Okay.
So it's a truncated list, so it's not everything that we offer. We offer a lot of different relays. But these are the ones I talked about, had an OSSD capability of accepting that. We have relays from Safety Bridge and TriSafe, our higher end products, down to lower end multifunctional relays, our PSR Classic, and even our PSR Mini relays can accept this.
All right, so your PSR Mini.
Yes.
All right, I got to call you out on that.
I know.
So Mini, what's Mini about Mini?
So Mini is as mini as it gets. So if you're unfamiliar with the Mini, it was our foray into building our own non-contact or our interposing relay.
Okay.
So PSR Mini allows you to be smaller than anybody else on the market. Using our own relay technology, we develop, we manufacture. Internal to that relay allows us to get to 6.8 millimeters in a safety relay.
So you've got a 6.8 millimeter safety relay. Now, is this just, it's smaller, so is it less safe?
No, it's got the same thing you can use right now at a standard 22.5 millimeter package. We can do it in 6.8. So it's got redundant inputs, highest levels of safety, 6.8 millimeters. Performance level E, still 3, plus it's still a 6 amp contact. So the same full current ratings that you would have on a standard relay, you get in a mini package.
That's absolutely amazing. And you mentioned it's our technology, so Phoenix Contact, this is the relay that they're seeing, that little guy in the top corner, that's us.
That's us. We manufacture it over in Bad Pyrmont, Germany. We have 2 manufacturing lines running it. It's fully automated, ready to go. And we have tons of stock of it. We're ready to see it fly off the shelves. And because we manufacture it, that means we can control the cost.
Yeah.
So essentially in the PSR Mini, you have a relay that is smaller than anything on the market. It probably costs less than anything on the market, and it still gives you that full safety package we talked about before.
That is absolutely amazing. So we talked about the safety relay, we talked about the cables really quickly, which we'll get to in a few more minutes, and of course the star of the show being the sensor, the switch. But for all of those out there, I mean, they're tasked with selling this technology. Where are they going? Where should they go? Who should they talk to?
So ideally, if you're working at an OEM, a manufacturer, machine builder, you would be going directly to a controls engineer, an electrical engineer that's maybe working on the system.
Okay.
A lot of times, the old tongue and groove style stuff really doesn't work that well when you're talking IIoT or trying to figure out what's going on in your machine. So if they're having problems with that, you know, it's an ideal solution. It's IIoT ready with that IO-Link availability. And it really makes it a good product for the future. Even if you're not using IO-Link now, it's ready for that IO-Link future. The other thing is conveyor systems, food and bev, bottling machines, anywhere where you're going to have lots of access points that you don't want someone getting into. And if someone has to go and make an adjustment, you want to have a stop situation maybe locally for there, and you can get that feedback back at your control system. So food and bev, conveyor, you have injection molding, lots of access panels.
Yeah, I mean, really, when I start thinking about it, I mean, you're talking human safety here. So whether there's an abundance or it's relatively infrequent, in most applications, there's at least some degree of not wanting to harm somebody involved.
Well, you hope that's the way it is, but if you're unfamiliar with it, usually anything red or yellow inside of a cabinet or out in the field, red and yellow kill a fellow. So if it's red or yellow, it's connected to safety. You can do something with it with one of our products.
Okay, that is awesome. So that is absolutely amazing. So end-to-end solution, star of the show is PSR, the new switch. Run that back to your safety relays. The portfolio continues to expand. New things on the horizon?
Yeah, not stuff I can't talk about now. There's lots of stuff coming out.
So we're not done yet, though. That's the take.
Oh, no, this is not the last foray into safety. Certainly not the last foray into sensors. They see this as a big market for us, and we're going to continue to innovate, bring new things to the market. And we really want everybody to be successful out there, so we've created a card, a quick design card that has all of the sensors and actuator on one side, and then all of the relays I showed previously, and it also gives you all of the accessories and connectors and cables you would need for a full solution. So it's about a half sheet wide. Okay. They're available now on the extranet. If you want to download it, you can order in the actual card itself. It's a good leave behind when you're talking about it, and it really makes it simple to figure out what sensors I need, what do I need to connect it, how am I going to get everything working.
That's awesome. And then above all, I mean, in addition to this, I mean, you've got the information on the extranet, but Tech Service is an amazing resource in itself, and you've got a guy on your team?
I do, yeah. So Ray Azizian's our level 3 expert in technical service. He has certification in safety as well. So if you're calling in the technical service, you get the same help that I would provide in the technical service group. He's responsible for basically troubleshooting and helping all of our other tech service people get trained up, work on new projects, figure out new products like this. And he's already done 5 or 6 trainings internally on just the switch.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, fantastic resource. And that was Ray?
That's Ray Azizian, yeah.
All right, just remember Ray.
Yeah,
Ray at Tech. Fantastic. All right, so with that, I mean, we talked about this end-to-end solution, and I want to hone in on one particular aspect of it because there is an amazing and immediate opportunity for everybody out there, all of our channel partners, and it is tied to cables specifically. So, Zach, thanks.
Thank you, Jeremy.
And I'm going to ask Nate Owens to come up here, and as they switch mics and transition over, again, I want to hone in on this particular cable, whether it's a sensor cable connected to a PSR switch, or it's going out to a proximity switch, or anything else out in the field. There is, again, a huge opportunity right now because the dominant force, for that matter, in the marketplace, Turk, is having a huge issue right now delivering these cables. So we know there are a number of you out there that we share a line card with. So in this particular case, Turk is hurting right now, and you want to make sure you're supporting your customers. So in that support, know that you've got an alternative, and Phoenix is that alternative. If you don't have Turk, maybe you want to start looking there because now you have a supplier that can provide a cable to somebody who can't get it. So Nate, walk us through all the ins and outs. I was dancing a little bit on purpose because I want to make sure you were mic'd up and ready to go. But with this cable opportunity, I mean, how big is it, and what are we really talking about?
Great summary, Jeremy. So one of the things that we've been getting a daily request at here at Phoenix Contact is, given the market situation with one of the largest manufacturers for connectivity on machine, with the challenge to customers be able to secure that product, how can we help them service the customer? Exactly like you said. So our team's been really working hard to develop collateral to be able to take this opportunity and service the customer. So I'll show some resources directly that can be downloaded today off of the Superstore. But as far as the size of the potential, we estimate that Turk's connectivity business is probably around 150 million a year in the US.
Okay.
And therefore, with the latest figures we're getting out of the channel, they're looking at about 3 months until they have a secured ERP fix.
Okay.
To be able to reliably
So
receive
3 months, so 10-ish weeks
10-ish
or so?
weeks, and therefore there's probably about $30 million that's was on order with Turk that either needs to stay on order or get rebooked under a different manufacturer for the time being. So we're here with that large, potential to say we build over 10 million cables a year, and we have local manufacturing. We have resources to be able to service your customer if you need us.
So again, I just want to make sure I heard that right, because you said 10 weeks this issue is going to really linger on, where the customer is going to be feeling this pain. There's an availability issue. And when you do the math, you're looking at about $30 million worth of...
$3 million a week, yes.
Wow.
Potential of customers that need to ship machines, and the connectivity portion is
30 million. Wow. All right, so this is huge. I was like, oh, this is huge. No, this is like really huge.
It is.
All right, well, let's get through these tools. I'm going to jump out of here. You jump in there, do your thing.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you those that have been asking our channel sales team where we can support them and offer some resources. So I want to jump out to, obviously, the place that we keep all of that on the extranet. Forgive me, we'll just switch over. There it is. So the green website that you know, which is the extranet, has different resources. I'm logged in as myself, but where you want to head to is Superstore. So the first note on your notepad to take is go to the extranet, click on the Superstore. Once you get there, you'll see a What's New section on the Superstore, and as of today, we've added a media kit that's available to any of our authorized distributor partners. And this media kit has a lot of the content that we've been asked individually over the past few weeks. Hey, where can we get this information to be able to support our customers that are needing connectivity solutions? So I'll click this download in a moment, but I want to let you know what we'll see when we download that zip folder. And that is first that we have a new catalog available. It's in PDF, published last week, so the timing is really good for us to have a refresh on everything that we can build locally with fast lead times and some really key supporting connectivity products as well. There's also a Turk to Phoenix Contact nomenclature guide. So this is something that many channels that have Turk on their line card are asking for us to be able to help guide them into the right product series from Phoenix Contact. So while we don't have a one-to-one exact cross Excel spreadsheet magic to be able to put in your part numbers here and get the Phoenix out, this guide will get you, based off the Turk part number, into the correct series from Phoenix Contact. Also, those that are looking to just promote the fact that Phoenix Contact has cables and local manufacturing, there's going to be some promotional content available. And then one of the most important things we've added just today is the article list. So if you have your own website and you want to say Phoenix Contact has these products in stock, then we have a list in Excel of the 1,800 part numbers that encompass our speedy transaction local manufacturing program. So let's go ahead and click download. And right away, you'll see that it comes in a zip folder. The first thing that I want to highlight is, let me expand this so everybody can see, the catalog, which will be in print within about 3 to 4 weeks. It's currently at the printer. But this is available in PDF right now. It's 84 pages, and the same format that Zach Stank just said is available in a card for quick reference is the way that we set up this catalog. So instead of hundreds of pages with our products spread across it, if you click into, let's say you're looking for sensor connectivity, into the sensor cord set section, you will see all of our M8 unshielded part numbers in one table, all of our foil and drain shielded connected to a pin on the next, not connected foil and drain followed by braided shield. So the 4 most common cable types and shielding that are out there, all in one succinct table. Same thing when we get to M12, that all M12 part numbers are on one succinct page. Same thing with 18 gauge, foil and drain, and braided shield. And the other note is that foil and drain is a common shield method that Turk uses, and is something that we've planned to add to our portfolio and actually is flashing on Friday. So stay tuned to the flash new product notice that will come out on this Friday for that product line as well. But this is a great tool to be able to promote the standard catalog that Phoenix offers through local manufacturing. However, it doesn't necessarily solve the question that we have is there's a manufacturer right now that either we are supporting or we're getting calls about part numbers that they typically service to an end customer. How can we get into the right product series from Phoenix Contact? So that's where the Turk nomenclature guide comes in. We put this together over the past week or two, and all it is a 4-page document that gives you common nomenclature that we'll see on a lot of cross references into tech service. And again, to the number of inquiries, we have over 50 crosses currently in tech service that are being asked to see if there's a Phoenix Contact equivalent. So the first page is M8 sensor, the second M12, M12 Ethernet, followed by mini 7/8" power cord sets. So to give an example of how this works, I'll zoom in so everybody that's at home can see. We'll give some examples of some standard high-running cord set nomenclature from Turk. Let's look, for example, at the second item, an RS 4.4T-2/S618/S824. What does that mean, and how do I get into the right Phoenix Contact portfolio? So this simply just breaks down what that means in Turk nomenclature, that an RS is an M12 male straight, that a 4.4T is a 4-position A-code product, that an S618 is not connected, and then S824 is PLTC rated. So that should let them know that they can turn to the right page, again within that catalog that we just talked about, find the M12 foil and drain section, and show the standard part number series. And that's really what we're trying to do, Jeremy, with giving the distributors the tools that they can come in and then say, we believe based off of your part number that you're having the biggest heartburn on right now. From this table, likely right here in this line, you would have an alternate through Phoenix Contact.
So that really becomes kind of your secret decoder ring.
It is. It's a decoder ring that's more than Ovaltine.
Be sure to drink. Awesome. So now you mentioned that's out there on the extranet for everybody viewing to download, and of course all your partners in the office. But the other great thing is our tech service team, they have access to all this as well, correct?
They do.
Okay.
And also on the extranet, there is the ability to go into the competitor cross-reference section, put in a part number directly. The only issue is one-to-one, you're not going to always get a cross out of that, even if we may have something that's close or similar.
Okay. But again, with all these tools, and I see here you mentioned you've got some banners, emailers, so our partners out here, you've set them up so they can do some action on their own, right?
Correct. Let's say that someone is a champion that handles social media for that distributor. They could come in and see what type of tweets we already have loaded up, along with associated images, and within that folder, stage some tweets to be able to promote the fact that they do have cables that are in stock somewhere.
So this would be great just for awareness of, hey, we got cables. You may not be able to get them from somewhere, but Phoenix Contact has them.
Yes, there's banner images as well. That's you need cables, we're ready. And again, the URL can link anywhere back to obviously our website when we're talking to customers, but a distributor may have stock that they want to promote. And therefore, that's why we added this article list that includes every part number that's in the North American portfolio. So you can run that against your website and really filter down a list to say, target customers to this.
That is awesome. So you've got an amazing starter kit, if you will. So for anybody out there, if they're aware there's a huge cable opportunity, you've given them everything they need to do to capitalize on this. How much?
30 million.
30 million
10 weeks, yes.
and over the next 10 weeks. So this isn't just this is a big deal right now. It's really through the rest of the year.
And we've been so busy because we are one of the manufacturers with local manufacturing, local engineering support, technical support. So we're in a very good position with capacity to be able to address this.
Yeah, so when you mention that capacity, I mean, it's kind of weird. So for the viewers out there, you're probably tight in on a shot, but there's a back wall behind us. The other side of the wall, there's actual cable manufacturing going on right now. So there's spools of cables, there's individuals pulling, automated stuff, throwing connectors on and all that good stuff. So we're ready to go.
Absolutely. Globally, we build over 10 million cables a year, and a large portion of that is here throughout our U.S. manufacturing.
All right, that is awesome. So great stuff. So thanks for sharing with us, man. Really, really appreciate that.
Thank you. Appreciate all the feedback and asking that I come and put something together formally to the channel so that everyone that is getting requests on a daily basis has the tools available to kind of self-help yourself through the situation. Obviously, my information is there. My team, our technical service team, is ready to help, as well as channel sales if you have any more questions.
All right,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thanks, Nate. So I'm going to ask Zach to come up here as well as Wade. So I don't have view right now to the YouTube channel, but I did hear there's a couple questions in there. So we want to take an opportunity. One, if you've got a question, go ahead and take this moment to fire it into the comment section. We've got someone monitoring those questions. They can feed that up to us. But foremost, you've got one already, Wade?
Yeah, I do have a question. This is for Zach. So how many switches can you connect to one actuator on that switch?
That's a good question. So if it's a Unicode, it's only one. So I can connect one and then I can replace it through relearning. If it's fixed code, it's one and done. That's it. So one switch, one actuator. If it's multi-code, there is no limit. It doesn't matter how many switches I'm using, how many actuators I have. If you want to go out and buy 10,000, which I encourage you to go out and buy 10,000 right now and put them in your facility.
It's endless.
It is endless, yes.
Wow.
All right, I got one more here. This
Okay.
is for Nate. I know you went over this, but that card that shows the cross between the Turk and ours, where do you access that again?
Correct. So if you log into the extranet and click on Supportal, I'll make sure that I come back right here, Superstore.
So you're going to, because I'm not sure if the mic totally picked it up. So really that starter kit was the question, was
Yep.
where
So-
that exists?
Start at your extranet,
Okay.
click on Superstore, and then come right down to What's New. That's the easiest way to get to it, What's New. And as of today, we just added the media kit with all of that collateral right there. And that zip file will include the Turk cross-reference guide as well as the new catalog and all of the promotional material and part number list discussed.
Okay, good.
All
You have
right.
another question?
No, we're good. I was just checking offline just to make sure that we're good. So it does look like we are good question-wise. If, for example, there is a little bit of a lag with the stream, so it's not absolutely instantaneous. So if we do miss anything, we will follow up with you. And Wade,
Yeah,
you
I'll
have
go into
access?
that. Yeah, so again, let us know what you think. You can shoot me an email, give me your good, bad, or indifferent opinions. We like to hear it, or if any problems that you may have had with the YouTube channel.
Wait, this is going on the internet. Let's throttle that a little bit, okay? I've seen what my kids go through in school.
So again, thank you for joining us today. Now, if you do want to watch this later on, we will have this uploaded on our extranet on the rerun channel. So that is the show for today. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.